Hello traders, and welcome to my 1000 subscriber special. Today we're going to be doing a Ethereum and a Bitcoin price prediction and some analysis as well. And in this video I'm going to be talking about Elliott wave theory, volume, and previous support and resistance. So if you don't know Elliott wave theory, I'd recommend that you watch my videos on that. But as long as you understand support, resistance, and volume, I think this video should make sense to you. All right, so without further ado, let's get started on Ethereum, and then we're going to talk about Bitcoin. So my prediction here is that we had a 5-wave Elliott wave sequence to the upside, and then we had an ABC pattern downward. And there are 3 reasons why I think that Ethereum is about to turn into a new uptrend for a 5-wave upward. And the first reason is that this is a previous resistance level. And if you look at previous resistance levels, typically that's when some bullish movement begins. So we can see that at the top of wave 3 and in the midsection of wave 4, you can see that price failed to go any lower. Price printed a support here and then went upward right here at around the previous resistance level here. And then that happened. And then also we can see here in wave 1, basically the same thing is happening, where we see that price closes around here at this support level, which is this previous resistance level, and goes upward whilst making a tail down to the lower, more support regions. And that same exact thing happened here. That's one reason why I think we're going to go to the upside. The second reason is probably the most complicated, which is Elliott wave theory. And for those who do not know, wave A of a correction, so from here down to here, is typically equal to wave C of a correction, from here to here. The reason why I'm using this as my low and this is my low and not this is because this price point down here was not touched on many exchanges. The only exchange that I know of that had a low this low was Gemini. The other exchanges had lows around this area, and that's why I think it makes a lot more sense to use the 280 right here as the low of wave A. And a similar story here. I just think that this point has a lot more support, and that's why we should be using these orthodox price extremes instead of unorthodox price extremes. Unorthodox price extremes are these wild tails that you get like this, and more orthodox are points that have previous support and previous resistance and are built up as important points. So that's the second reason why I think so, because we have wave A that went down 118, and we can see here that wave B went from 341 down to the low here of around 223, which is also 118, same magnitude. So I think because of that, we're likely going to see the wave 1 pattern up to 287. I'm going to be talking about why 287 shortly. And then the third reason why I think that this is an important point is the escalation of volume. Typically when you see this high amounts of volume right here, that usually means a price reversal. So we can also see that here, when price overextends itself and has very high volume, right here, typically you have to see a price reversal. And the reason this happens is simply because of an oversold or overbought region, and right here is an oversold region. So what that means is that if everyone sells something, the price really can't go much lower because everyone's already sold. And same goes with if everyone's bought. If everyone buys Ethereum, then theoretically there's no way the price can go up because you need buyers to buy the price up. You need sellers to sell the price down, if that makes sense. So you want to look for in these charts, where's a point that we were overbought and where's the point that we were oversold. And one way you can easily do this if you don't really understand volume that well is just simply put on MFI, which is right here on CryptoWatch. And if you just look at this white region, which is the overbought region, and also oversold is white as well, which would be down here, you can see that the top of wave 3 was overbought and the top of wave 5 was overbought, and look what happened. So MFI is a fantastic resource to use, and also we can see on the 12-hour, on a side note, has some serious oversold readings, and same with the 4-hour as well. You have an oversold reading here too. So for those 3 reasons, I think that this is going to be a wave 1 up to 287. And the reason I picked 287 is because if we do this and just draw the wavelength of wave C, typically wave 1 will go to 61.8 of wave C, which here would be 287. The second reason why I think 287 is a great ending for wave 1 is all this previous support that you have here. We have a lot of previous support here, some previous support here as well. So this is a point where price is going to have a hard time breaking. So it might need to go up to 287, then come down to maybe the 240s or 230s, and then break it for wave 3. It'll probably go around here, above the high of wave B. So that's my bullish Ethereum price prediction. I'm really confident that I think we're going to see an uptrend, but if we don't, this is what I think that we'll see. If price goes below the 223 support level, I think we're going to go down to 150. And the reason I say this is because when you don't see wave A equaling wave C, what you also see is that wave C is 1.618, the magnitude of wave A. That's the second most popular thing that happens in an ABC correction. And what that would mean is we take 1.618 times 118, which is 191, simply to subtract the high of wave B with 191 to find the full extension of wave C, of course, and that'd be 341 minus 191, which would be 150. And you also can see some great support here, that this 150 level had some support as well. I'm really hoping that doesn't happen, but that absolutely is a possibility, that price can make a double bottom down at 150. I still am more confident, though, that we see this as a wave 1 up to around this previous support level, mainly because of volume. So that's going to be it for my Ethereum price prediction. Now let's go on to Bitcoin. So Bitcoin is similar, but there are a few differences that need to be noted. What you can see here is the same 5-wave and then the same ABC sequence, but with Bitcoin we see 2 differences. 3 really if we talk about volume too. The second difference is that we had wave C went down 1.618 of wave A. Wave A went down 970 from this high down to these lows. And if we use orthodox lows for wave C, so around that 32, and then you subtract 1.618 times the magnitude of wave A, then what you see is that actually this is the 1.618 extension down to here. So price already has completed wave C as an extension. So I really think that Bitcoin is quite likely in that regard to go up. Additionally, another really important point to mention is this tail down to 29.55 of the Gemini exchange. The reason this tail is so important is that we previously had a double top here, 29.75 right here. As you can see, price went here, failed, went down, tried again, minor failure, and then broke it. One retouch and then it broke it. And usually what you see, what I've mentioned a million times, is that previous resistance becomes future support. So it makes a lot of sense that this previous resistance level here is going to become future support here, and that this price will probably not be touched again unless it's a powerful downtrend in Bitcoin that takes us much lower. But I think the reason that we're protected against the downtrend is this escalation of volume, like I've mentioned. You typically never see in a non-completed downtrend, you typically never see bullish volume this high and oversold readings this high, unless we're getting a minor or a major price reversal. So minor price reversal would just mean price, let's say, goes up to 4K and goes down. But I think it's more likely that we're going to get a major price reversal where price goes up to 4K, retraces a bit, and then makes a new Elliott wave 5-wave sequence. And then we also look at oversold and overbought readings. We can even see that on the daily for Bitcoin that we are oversold because MFI is below 20. It's at 16.52 currently. And this is a major oversold point that really looks like a fantastic spot to buy at. Yeah, I think this is a great spot to buy at, really, if you had bought anywhere down at these previous resistance levels that have been just touched. Again, I am bullish on Bitcoin and Ethereum as of now. The only reason I would say to not be bullish on Ethereum and that to say that this analysis has failed would be that if price went below 32.30. If price goes below 32.30, I think you're going to see the low 2000s as the next support level. What that means is around here. So it would make a lot of sense if price was to make a wild tail down to this level right here to around the 2100 level. The 2K to 2100 level, I think, is a good support zone. And that's where price would go if this fails, which I don't think it will fail because of this volume. I really think it's likely that we're going to see a minor or major price reversal. And last note, if you're curious why I picked 4K as a resistance point, it's because of this. If we measure wave C, in totality from extreme low to extreme high. You can see here that the 4014 is a 61.8 level, and three things are important with this. One, usually the 61.8 level is the most important level on a Fibonacci retracement. It's typically the level that will be hit and then price moves downward. And B, you can also see that this is also a previous support level. Support, 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 support all over here. And then the third reason why I think this is because it's a very popular even number, meaning that a lot of people are going to put their orders at 4,000. So like let's say someone buys at 3460 and they're an amateur trader or investor and say, where do I want to sell at? A lot of them are going to type in 4,000, which means that this point's going to be hard to breach. And it might not even be touched. It might be front run, meaning that price goes up to like 39.50, 39.60 or something, because there are too many sellers around that 4K level that the smarter and savvier investors and traders will sell before price reaches that level. So that makes sense in my head. Yeah, we are seeing much higher volume on Bitcoin though than we are seeing in Ethereum. So I'm really confident that I think Bitcoin is gonna begin a new 5-wave Elliott wave sequence after the ABC correction is done. I know a lot of you are thinking that this is just technical analysis jargon that's not really going to be too helpful because of the fundamentals of the market. I know that Jamie Dimon of JP Morgan Chase did come out with that statement that really condemned Bitcoin and Ethereum trading, and also more importantly that we had what happened in China with the crackdown on cryptocurrencies. So those two fundamental events I'm not ignoring. All I'm saying is that if you look at the history of markets and just how they operate, typically oversold readings mean that price rebounds to the upside, even on bad news. I'm not talking like major market recessions like the 08 or the 1928-29. Those were different kinds of markets. Those are major meltdowns of markets. But in a minor price correction like this, typically with these major volume and oversold readings, you'll see price likely making its way to the upside as amateur buyers come in, professional investors come in as well, and price is out of oversold. So I know that was a really long video, and if I've kept you here this long, then I hope you learned something. I am quite bullish on Bitcoin and Ethereum, to be honest. As you can probably see in this video, I think that this level will probably not be touched unless we get price going below these levels. And I think I'm pretty bullish on both. I really think that these are extreme levels, and that you will either see a minor or a major price swing to the upside. So either Ethereum goes to 287, then continues to fall in a 5-wave sequence. So that would mean this is not an ABC, but rather a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, down to 150, of course. That would make the most sense. Or this is just an ABC correction for Ethereum, and you get the upside because of this gigantic volume here, this wild tail down here, that kind of mirrors the structure of what happened with Wave B. So that was a lot. If there's anything you don't understand or anything that you disagree with, just feel free to leave them in the comments. Anything that you'd want to ask, any questions, concerns, complaints, and I'd like to thank you guys for getting me to 1,000 subscribers. I started this channel with not really knowing what I was doing, but just more trying to put as much of what I know of the market into crypto and on the internet for free. And the reason why I'm making these videos is that when I began trading, I really couldn't find any videos or any strategies that just told me exactly what to do, and it told me exactly how the market operates and what to look out for and what not to look out for. And the only programs that did that were paid programs, which I would never really sign up for anyway. So I'm hoping that my channel can at least just be a decent platform that you can use just to gain some free knowledge. So that's the purpose. Well, thank you, traders, and like I said before, leave a comment if you want to ask me a question or disagree. Have a good day.